What's up, guys? So I wanted to level the playing field a little bit, give you guys more of a realistic idea of what to expect, what your expectations are. Um, this is my C22 that I have. Um, you can see that there's my going on 29, and here's all my farms, and here's my 22. This thing was like a 20, a C20 last week. Whenever I've got like a point where my main account's not is going to have a surplus of a certain amount, then I'll pick it up with this account just to do a little work to it. That way I have a backup account. One way or another, you can use it to support yourself, to hide troops in, to reinforce yourself, to join events, to go jump in other people's alliances, to help defend. Countless reasons, just to go use it as a big farm and go farm the shit out of other hives during void, whatever. There's a million different reasons that you can use a strong alternate account for. Um, and I'm in the process of doing promotions and stuff in this. I'll show you. I did buy the growth account pack for it, but and I've spent a few dollars here and there, but nothing really. I mean, um, nothing to speak of that would stand out and make it above and beyond the potential of any account, maybe 5 minutes a day with that. So sometimes I'm on it longer, depends, but as an average. So I'm going to show you a little bit around it. These are all my officers. I was managed to have, without buying officer packs, without doing anything, just doing my trading, winning events, normal shit, and to the limited that I do. I have all the purple officers, all of them. All right, except for the new ones, you don't get. You only get if you buy in buying packs. You only get them if you buy the elite envelope packs, because you can't get enough elite envelopes regularly without spending that you'll even have huge chance of getting. I mean, you might get an 8. Me, I bought one. This is on my C29. But I waited after they released. I waited until the Sunday when the elite envelope packs come out, and then I bought the 199 one and the 499 one. So I spent, $6, I say $7 or whatever, and then I got both of these new officers. Right, the best pack for the best chances is buying the elite envelope pack, because you don't just. I mean, if you buy the pack itself for the officer, yeah, you're getting that officer. But if you buy the elite envelope pack, you could get, 5 different 8 cards of each officer. You could end up with every purple officers you don't have. I mean, there's just, plus you get skills and everything else with it. So you always save up and do the 9 hitter there. All right. So enough on the officers. I have shown you guys, if you look at a bunch of previous videos, this is, I will take all these extra officers that I don't use. Specific blue ones are worth on a non-spender account to upgrade, like Rock Bell for the wounded limit, Godfather for a bigger march size, Butterfly for more attack. um, but if I see a purple that I want, I'm willing to sacrifice. So I don't go ahead and star up everything right away when I see it. Only when I'm, in the moment need it. But trading is one of your biggest keys. And then to do the exploration, doing this one, the third one gets you the officer cards. This one, the second one gives you the skills, and then the first one will do your build speed and gather speed for you. You have to do your villas over here on the side, your houses, to increase your refugee rate. And if you want to know what your available space is, you can count here. You can look at the top there and see what the number is, and then hit info and see if you can even reach that. And then if you can't by the current info, then see how many more upgrades you have, and you can also hit info, hit more info, and it'll show you the scale of what the refugee limit for that building is. And you can see, like, you can also see it by going to build, and it'll tell you how much it'll increase right here at the top, next level effect. So then you can do the addition and see if you will even hit that effect, to see if it's worth doing those builds. And building speed does help, but in a person that's, limited, waiting on resources, between your buildings finishing tends to be helpful because it gives you time to gather the resources for the next one. And I use my gold for the second build spot, because I'm going to get that to 22 so I can start promoting my lasers, and I want to get my second camp to 22 so I can make more snipers. These are both already 19. Your barracks are your best friend. Your camps, factories, and workshop are your best friend. Then we can get to gear. We'll hit manage. You can this purple one, I think I won from events and from trading. You can trade now in the infinite zombies. This is my gear currently. This is all based on gambles. Some of them were white at a time. I just base on. I just base it on what the next stat is and what I could use. Like, this came out green. I'd like it to be purple. So what I might do is, if this thing isn't going to go to 25 anytime soon, I might spend the power ore to upgrade that to to try it again for blue, or try it again for purple. I did a video on gear. I did a video on extension components, so I don't want to drag it out, but you can go back if you're looking for to understand what the best strategy is to create the gear you want. This one's ready for level 3. Let me go to develop, and I can see if I click on it and I go to 3. We know that I don't have the power ore, but I can go to check my green one. So there's no way that I would shoot for blue or shoot for purple until I have all these blue, and then I can make one purple, at least one purple. But the mats are not as valuable as the power ore. You can look at those materials as water. And if there's anything that I can stress to you, is on an account like this, always be hitting zombies. Okay, you see my stamina up at the top? If I log into this account, I send out those marches till my stamina is at 0. Some people do it with their farms. I have so many farms, I just can't. I'm OCD as shit, so it's either I go all in or I stay out of it. And so if you want to increase your commander level, which is your commander level is one of the easiest things that you can constantly work at, and it pays off. So always be hitting zombies, because not only are you working on your commander level, but you're obtaining mats, materials that you're going to need. So come the time that, and you can see I'm already farming power ore, and then I got steel. Steel's the heavy commodity right now at this particular level castle. But you're hitting zombies for XP, for materials, and for resources every time. And you always want to be hitting the top zombie that you can get your castle to defeat. So you're making the most out of all that stamina. Unless you know that you're not going to be on long enough to use that stamina, then hit every monster around, every zombie closest to you, and get something for that stamina that would be sitting there wasting. Okay? Let me think through here real quick. But it's important, if you're going to have a small castle and you're going to be because it's only going to be longer and longer as your castle, that if you're not increasing your resource income, then you're just going to be waiting a little bit longer every time before you make your next move. Well, let me tell you, from Castle 22 to 25, there's no tier increase on your troops, and the only thing you're going to get out of it is a higher wounded limit, a bigger march, better tech, but for your, in all seriousness, you need to focus on going ahead and getting all of these to 22, all of them. That way, all else fails, no matter what, when you're sitting and waiting, you're making the best possible troops you can. But if you're really struggling on resources, certain troops are just not worth training, worth having. So don't be recruiting troops that are not going to be useful and they're costing resources, but they might cost you your good troops. Say you get hit and you've done and overloaded your castle with all this battle power of troops to take a hospital capacity. So you limit yourself in multiple ways. Um, I have the Infinite Zombie. Show you a run on that with this particular account. I can show you that also. I haven't, like I said, I don't play this thing that often. The normals, of course, I beat those. Everybody knows how good I've managed to do these tower defense maps. Um, and I don't finish them. I don't move on to the next one until I 3-star it. Okay, though if I look at it and I see and I can click on these prizes and see what they have to offer, if I need that, I'll go ahead and finish it to just to get those prizes. But usually, if I don't get a 3-star, I just quit it. I don't. So that's why you'll see. I mean, I've gotten 2-star. I can get 2-star easy as shit. But if you take one damage point, you're not getting a 3-star. But that's another thing you can work at. And let me show you my tech. I do take tech pretty seriously. That is the difference between shelling and making a worthless, empty warehouse just because you want to look cool and say, "Oh, I reached this level." Players like that, I don't value. I value a player that is consistent with effort. I mean, if you are not a big size, but you're showing your work, that's what matters. And you're there for the events. Some people don't have a lot of time. Some people have a harder time keeping an organization and a strategy together. Understandable. But this game is not a Farmville. It's not Bob the Builder. Um, your recognition is deserved by being a team player and by doing things thoroughly, being reliable. And if you are joining me in an event and you have a castle with no tech and you look like a farm and you happen to be the first one into a battle, then my castle with max tech is going to be fighting at your tech level. So if I see that, it is pretty frustrating because you tend to lose a lot more. You might even lose the battle when you're supposed to win it because a person's tech is so horrible. So do yourselves a favor. Don't recruit troops that are useless because all that does is slow you down, takes up resources, and then you got an extra half on your hands of hiding troops. Um, you should farm gold mines sometimes just to have enough so that when you need a 24-hour shield, you can do it. But you need to just be smart with your. Need to be able to mark out all your troops, at least all of them except for hospital and put them in safe places chance to get hit. There's a million different things we can get into relating to that. But as far as tech and officers, you should concentrate on importance. You don't need to just go extreme on one type of officer. Remember, 3 officers for every job. Okay, and the green ones are not worth putting anything into. I mean, you can use it, equip it, but don't put any skill points into it because the percentages that increase based on the account is every level costs the same amount of skill points to increase, but it's such a small margin on the lower. It's exponentially higher for the same cost on a purple and a blue, and it's not going to be big enough for you to even really notice unless you really do a lot. But then you're going to be kicking yourself because you're shooting yourself in the foot by doing that. So blues you can invest a little bit into. Purples is what you save it for. Um, you can see starring up. That's something that is by chance. So if you're getting a lot of materials fragments for a specific officer, there's nothing wrong with starring it up, because that is a substantial increase, and it's not costing you the ability to enhance something else at a high, using fragments rather than trading for a higher cost. When you trade in a fragment that could have been used to enhance a specific officer, when you trade it in, you should have a plan and a reason for doing that, because you're basically taking and selling it for a lower value than what it's worth. But if you have a plan for it and it's not going to be worth anything to you by keeping it or enhancing the current officer, then it's better to just trade it in and sell it. So basically the idea behind this video was to help the non-spenders, the less spenders, the people that are not looking at the same scale of things at what I do daily. Another thing would be, if I go to here to modify, you can see I have green ones. I sell them because when I do enhance another piece, get better, this is a non-spender account. So here I need to wait for S to fill those in. Okay, and with doing well, the infinite zombies gives me the ability to buy more of them. So let's put my best officers on, so I have the best possible stats, manage, and what you do is you remove them all, and then you pick the top two. That's how you know what your strongest are. Remove them all, pick your top two. Okay, this is kind of easy. If I show you that I remove this panda because the blue one here, this the hell is her name again? I forget her name now. Butterfly. She's 2-star and has a skill on her. She's still not as much power as Panda at level 7, 1-star. Okay. So this is my highest, and it's 331k. Tech level is not going to be any higher. If I have gear cooking at the time, if you take off, deactivate a piece of gear, it does decrease your technology, even if you still have it, but you're not wearing it, so it will affect your here. Okay, and then if you hit info, you can see what your next target is. So it shows 340. I'm at 331. Maybe I can take one of these and increase it. I'm not sure. But if I'm going to increase one, it's going to be... I guess I could do this one, but let me check what these are. See, these are already at 10. I can't do anything. I could add attack. Confirm. That got me 1,000. Really, you need to be starring up. That got me 1,800. It's really just not going to be enough. Processing gets me resources, but I don't want to increase medicine because that's not what I would keep on there. And I don't think I can increase anything else for the cost that it would cost. The only thing I could do is try and add to my XP points. Upgrade, can't do that. So I have to wait on that. We can see what my new... I'm at 334, so I only added the 3.7k or whatever. All right, challenge. You start out with the same amount, no matter who you are. Your strengths are just different. I basically stick with the same strategy as all of them, because basically what I work out is what the best strategy is altogether. It's based on placement of the tower, so that they're working together and they're all focused on the same point in specific areas. Basically, you want to direct all those targets into the same area and have your force at its heaviest there. I'm going to make my lasers stronger. That'll help me. This is a substantially different run than using my C28. which will soon be much stronger because when it hits C29, it's got a whole bunch of things that are going to pop up real fast. So it's going to be a lot stronger. And I'm already running at, 32K to 33K scores. I mean, only C30s beat me. Let me go ahead and add to the strength of my. You got to be careful when you enter round 4. You don't know which one of these bottom gates is going to open. So you want down here to be strong. You want it to be independent so it can kill one of the garages opening up all by itself. And then you want to go back up here and start slowing those fuckers down. I'm going to add some strength. Alright, so this one opened up. So it's the opposing path that the other one was. Cheapest addition would be that minigun. I want to go ahead and get a laser going. Because normally it's those big guys that come out the gate, just like him right there, that the lasers do good on. That was close. Much different running this thing versus my other one. Chew. Ah. Damn, too late. Let's go ahead and strengthen my launchers there. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to slow these fuckers down. Waking them from the pit. Not doing so good, but I don't have all day. But this is giving you kind of an idea of what you're shooting for. That's a close one. Ah, look at that. I'm at 4. I'll add 10. Give me another little bit. I'll slow it down. They're coming in too hot. That's my problem. See, when you go too fast, you don't see things based on timing, okay? So it's very important. If I'm really trying, I'm going to want to keep it at this pace so that I can start seeing at the time that it starts to show weak spots, that I can act at that point. Whether it needs to be a little bit after it or right at that point, it could be a lot of different things. That's going to hurt. There it went. All right, so my best score on this, my previous high, I think it's like 9K. I wasn't trying necessarily. Let's see. Previous ranking. I don't even know what it was. So, doesn't keep track of it all. But anyway, I can go to the exchange store now. I want S's, even though they're more expensive. I'm going to start collecting them because it'll pay off. If you guys have any more questions, something that I'm not seeing because, I'm doing a lot of videos and I run a lot of different accounts and I'm not necessarily in the same mind state all the time. So I might miss something or not be thinking in the same shoes as I sometimes do. Because I am just like every one of you watch this video. Because I wasn't always, when I first started these games, I didn't think you should ever spend a dime on them. And then I was also younger and I didn't make money like that. And I still value the fact the reason that I love this game is because it's not Money is not going to buy you success in this game. It might buy you a leaderboard prize, but it ain't pay you back what you spend. So the real success is in teamwork. Keep up the good work, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.